What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. This is your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, y'all. Before we get going on our video, smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Share the video. Please turn on your notifications. And go follow me on Twitter as well at KO Boxing 86 TV. And if you got a breakdown or a prediction you want me to do on our weekly breakdown and prediction live stream, reach out to me on my email at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Also, check out all our live shows. We go live Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we discuss the hottest topics in boxing. We had a fire show last night, a great panel, and we were discussing this Terrence Crawford and Top Rank lawsuit. And then I also go live every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. That live show is our breakdown and prediction show where we break down and we predict all the upcoming fights for that week. So tomorrow night, we'll be breaking down and predicting the whole Joe Smith Jr. Fight card. You know, most of the fights on that card will be predicted in tomorrow's live stream. And also, we have obtained the documents from Terrence Crawford's lawsuit against Top Rank. I'm going to read those, go over those tonight, and then we're going to talk about those on tomorrow night's live stream as well. So we got an action-packed fire show for y'all tomorrow night, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And then on Sunday morning with the singing OG KQKC Boxing Network, we go live together every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So y'all be sure to come check that out as well. But let's get to the video, man. Let's get to the video and let's talk boxing. So Gary Russell Jr., who has a fight next week. I can't wait to break down and predict his fight next week against Mark Mixayo. But he's come out and he made his opinion known on the pound for pound list. And y'all see the title of the video, so we want to go over that and we want to talk about that in this video. So here's what he has to say, right? He says, what I can say is to the people who had the opportunity to watch me compete, in most cases, they will say my skill set is special. It's second to none. As far as the pound for pound list, I don't pay the pound for pound list any mind. The pound for pound list is a popularity contest. It's based upon who is more popular. It's not based upon skill. If it was based on skill, Gary Russell Jr. would already be on there. So here's the thing, bro. I agree with Gary Russell Jr. to a certain extent about the pound for pound list, and I take it a step further and say not only is it about popularity, it's about politics. Not only is it about popularity, it's about politics. And I said this in a live stream, and that's why I'm changing the way that I do my pound for pound list. I cannot wait to do my pound for pound list in the middle of the year. For those of y'all that are new to the channel, I do my pound for pound list twice a year because I want to give fighters the opportunity to fight. So we do a pound for pound list maybe in like June or July, and then we do another one at the end of the year once we're able to see, you know, how the first half of the year goes, make some changes based on some fights, then how the second half of the year goes based on the year that everybody had. We move stuff around and do our pound for pound list like that. So to me, he's right, and it's because if you look at the Ring Magazine list, or if you look at the main pound for pound list publications, what you'll see is that a lot of it is not based on what the pound for pound list was created for in the first place. And that's what I'm going back to on my channel, because I was a guy that I thought about your resume when considering my pound for pound list. I thought about your accolades, what you had accomplished. But if you go do some research, in reality, the pound for pound list was created because of Sugar Ray Robinson, and it was created based off of skill. And the main reason for the creation of the pound for pound list was to say, if these fighters fought each other and they were the same size, who do you think would win the fight? What is the skill set of these fighters based on what you've seen them do in the ring? It had nothing to do with accomplishments. It had nothing to do with how many championships you had. It was strictly based off of how your skills looked in that ring. And that's what we're going back to on Knockout Boxing 86 TV. And so I agree with Gary Russell Jr. because his skill set is undeniable, right? And you take a few people, and this is no disrespect to these fighters. There are people, if you look at the ring list, you got Ioka on there, who's a champion in a lower weight class. You got Monster Inoue on there, very high on the pound for pound list. And if you look at the skill set of Gary Russell Jr. and you look at the skill set of Monster Inoue, overall Gary Russell Jr. has a better skill set. His hands are faster. Monster Anyway may have more pop. He might have more power on his punches. But that's the only advantage that he has over Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. is better defensively. And he has better hand speed. And as a southpaw, he has better angles fighting against orthodox fighters, which are the majority of the fighters that you fight against, because most people in the world are right-handed. And most people in boxing are right-handed. So he has innate advantages and an innate skill set that, to me, if you build in a boxer from the ground up and you get to start with Gary Russell Jr.'s attributes, the hand speed, the defensive responsibility, the work rate, the dog. If you had to build a boxer and you say whose skill set do you want more, I believe Gary Russell Jr. has a better skill set. Or at the very least, he should definitely be on the list with Monster Anyway. Then you look at Ioka. We talking about a guy who's lost to a guy who had like 5 or 6 losses earlier in his career. Gary Russell Jr.'s only lost to Vasily Lomachenko. That's it. And so Gary Russell Jr., I mean, come on, man. He's the longest reigning champion. So I agree with him to a certain extent. But more so than popularity, it's about politics. It's about who they want to push the most, right? Who does it behoove to have on that list to continue to be in good graces with them, to market them? Who do you want to market? And we all know the machine behind Monster Anyway, because ESPN Top Rank, they want that Japanese money. So of course he's gonna be on your list. We all know the machine that they had at with Lomachenko. So he was on that list very early in his career. Very early in his career, he started being on that list when he hadn't accomplished as much. But it's all about who they want to market and who they want to shine a light on. When you look at fighters like Jermell Charlo, who can't crack the list, when you look at guys like Shakur Stevenson, who, if it was based on skill, he'd be very high on the list. But he's not on the list. He has a better skill set than Ioka. He has a better skill set than Monster Anyway. So I agree wholeheartedly. It's not about skill set anymore. It's more so about who you know, who do the promoters and the people that own the Ring magazine, who do they want on that list? Who does it benefit? That's what you have to look at. They've gone away from just looking at the skills of the fighters on the list. Because if you look at skills, it's a lot of fighters that wouldn't be on there. And just again, I'm gonna keep saying this when we start broaching the subject of pound for pound. I'm gonna broach this when we start discussing the subject of pound for pound, so people know what to expect. I'm going back to that shit, bro. I'm taking it back to the origins. Skills only. I don't care about your accolades. I don't care about none of that. Skills only. My pound for pound list would be based on, if these two fighters fought each other and they were the same size, who would I pick to win the fight? That's what we got to go back to, because that's the essence of the list, man. But I agree with Gary Russell Jr., and I hope he has a great fight next week. Good luck to him. Mark Mixayo is a dangerous opponent. He got good power. He showed great heart in his last fight where he was losing the fight, but he came back and got the knockout. So, we'll see what happens in that fight. We'll see how it goes. But overall, I wish the pound for pound list would get better. I wish it would get better and go back to what it was made for in the first place, and that's to highlight highly skilled fighters. Not to be a popularity contest, or, we consider accolades, we consider this, we consider all this extra shit that had nothing to do with how the list was created. So, salute to Gary Russell Jr. I agree with his opinion. I just take it a step further. It's about politics as well as popularity, and less about skill. We're going to make it more about skill on this channel when it comes to our pound for pound list moving forward. But I appreciate everybody watching the video. Go enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out of here, y'all. Peace.